welcome and just tell us, share with us, because I'm interested. When it comes to the Landmark Society, I really respect the things that you're doing. I always feel proud of the Landmark Society because you keep us above the rest when it comes to heritage and preservation and all of that. And so, we're honored to have you this morning, Sonia.
Well, thank you very much. We are trying to engage our entire community in preserving our culture and our history because there's a role for each of us to play in this preservation effort. You don't have to have money. You don't have to have a lot of time. You don't have to have a degree in history or anything. We all have something that we can do to help preserve our heritage.
Mm-hmm.
And we have one of the ways that we're trying to do that is we've created a program called Come Home to St. Croix.
I like that. I really like that. That is great.
Well, we're trying to get to kind of pull at people's heartstrings.
Mm-hmm.
Whether you live here and you just need to move a little bit closer to our culture,
mm-hmm.
or whether you're away and you're really missing home and missing that heritage and want to bring back children, grandchildren to learn more about it because, the realities of life, people move away for work opportunities, for education, and it's not always easy to come back, to move back.
Right.
So I see a lot of people coming to visit us and wanting their children to get a sense of the culture and the history. And it's not easy to do that in just a short visit. So what we've done is we've packed the entire week from tomorrow, Sunday, July 17th, through the next Sunday, July 24th,
mm-hmm.
with activities and programs to help families reconnect to heritage and culture. And we're calling it a week-long celebration of culture, history, and family. And I've been telling people, African people, when we think we're running out of time, we create some.
Mm-hmm.
So 7 days wasn't a long enough week, so we made it an 8-day week. And we practiced. Tomorrow we're going to start, as everything that we do should begin, by honoring our ancestors. At 2:30, we will have a ceremony. Kofi Boateng is going to pour a traditional libation,
mm-hmm.
and everyone will have an opportunity to add the names of their ancestors to this roll call that we're doing because we want this libation, this ceremony, to be a way of thanking them for the sacrifices that they made, which enable us to be here, and honoring them, and at the same time pledging to carry the legacy forward. And so everyone is invited. Bring the names of 1, 2, 3 ancestors, and there'll be an opportunity for you to come up to the microphone and add their names. And that's at 2:30. At 3:30, we're going to begin a ruins ramble, or as we call it now, Spaces That Matter, around the Estate WIM Museum, looking not only at the structures, but also talking about the people who worked, whose jobs involve working at those structures, learning more about the people who inhabited WIM centuries ago. And then you can go to our exhibits. We're opening one of which is called The People of WIM, which traces some of the people that lived at WIM as early as the early 1800s, late 1700s, and traces them through various documents, census records, church records, and other records, so that we bring that person to the present and connect them to family members that are alive now.
Mm-hmm.
So that allows people who are wondering about ancestors, you may come and you may just find your ancestor in that exhibit, The People of WIM. If you don't, it also serves as a lesson and inspiration for how to follow them because we're using all of the different record sources that are available to us so that you see what you can find out of a census, what you can find out of a baptism record, out of vital statistics, and so on. So that's a big part of the reason that we chose to do that exhibit, so you could see how to follow one of your ancestors. We also have 2 family tree exhibits that are going up. Winnie Clark Hardy has been working really hard on the Plaskett family tree, and Winnie and Kay Gonzalez Claude are the champions of our family in terms of going out and looking for those Plasketts. Mm-hmm. They have gotten back to the original 6 brothers that came here from England.
Wow.
They have their parents' names, and they've brought them forward through all of their descendants. And there's still a few branches off of the Plaskett tree that we haven't been able to connect to the tree. And those are also going to be listed, but we're hoping that through people coming, they will see, and maybe we can make those connections. Aretha Marshall, has been working as well on the Knight family tree, and that tree is also going to be exhibited. So there's so much going on. We'll have a reception afterwards at 5:30. There's no charge for the activities this Sunday. The library, the research library will be open. So if you want to go in, begin your research, make an appointment to come back and meet with a volunteer or a staff member that will guide you, you can do that. In fact, the research library and the Estate Wing Museum are going to have extended hours all week. We're normally open Wednesday through Saturday. We're going to be open Sunday to Sunday this coming week. So it's a really good opportunity to come in and take advantage of that. Okay. Then we follow on Monday. We have a workshop on getting started with your family history. So Mary Roebuck and others, Ricky Marshall and others will be there to help you get started with that. On Wednesday, we'll follow with May Adams Cornwall and others helping you on how to plan a family reunion. Because we want to encourage that. When people plan their reunions, they come back together. It does something for the adults, but even more importantly, it does something for children. Because when children learn who they are, when they get a sense of who they are and who their ancestors are, then they have also a sense of where they fit in their family, in the community, in society in general, and in the world. And that gives them, too, a sense of responsibility, what they owe to those who came before them and what they owe to themselves and to those who will come behind them. And we believe that that is the role for historic preservation to play in making an impact in our society and beginning to change some of the negative things that are happening with our young people by giving them that sense of self, of place, and of responsibility. So all of the activities this week are designed for families. We don't want parents to leave their children at home. These are all activities designed for families to come together. The highest fee, I think, all week is $10 for 3 workshops on 3 lectures on Saturday. Most of the activities are free for children, or there's a very nominal fee for them. On Tuesday and Thursday, we're going to have fun workshops for adults and children. Come and learn how to walk like a mukajumbi, participate in a mock archaeological dig, play old-time games, whether you know wari or you need to remember those stones, those seeds that we used to rub on the concrete wall and then go burn each other with that are called nickel, that we used to play wari. I heard yesterday Doc Peterson talking, and they played it with the cashew nut. So there are other games that our great-grandparents, that our grandparents played, and you have an opportunity to learn about those. You have an opportunity to hunt for historic treasures at whim, and other workshops. And then on Tuesday evening, very important, we're going to air 2 episodes from a documentary called Slaves in the Family. And that documentary has episodes that follow Danes who are in search of their ancestors. Camilla Jensen Tyson is one of those, and her episode shows how she began to search for the answer to why she looked the way she did. And she told me why she looked not quite like the other Danes. And her search, which brings her to St. Croix and to St. Thomas and to Tortola and St. John, where she's connected with her family. And Camilla will be available, as well as others, after the film for a panel discussion. The other episode that's going to be shown follows Victor Cornelius, who was taken from St. Croix at a young age and sent to Denmark, and the life that he made in Denmark and how his descendants came back looking for their roots. So that's a very powerful evening, and for all of these, we want people to be there with their children so that this is the beginning, something that can start a discussion between parents and children afterwards. Friday night at 6 o'clock, come learn how to dance quadrille with the master caller, Curtis Williams, and the cost of that is covered in the tickets for the Grand Crucian Quadrille, which begins at 7. With who else but Stanley and the 10 Sleepless Nights. And it's an early quadrille. We're beginning at 7 and then at 12 because we have neighbors in our neighborhood, and we have to be considerate of them as well. But they will be playing and we'll be dancing nonstop from 7 to 12 with Mr. Williams as the caller. On Saturday, we have 3 of our esteemed professors. Professor Lauren Larson is going to do an overview of Virgin Islands history. Professor Dimitri Koopman, Pikey, will be doing an overview of Virgin Islands music, and Professor Veronica Gordon will take us on a walk around WIM, a traditional medicinal plant walk, looking at the plants that are available here and how they are used in medicinal ways throughout the centuries. And then on Sunday, we'll wrap up with the kind of Sunday that, Carol, I'm sure you remember. You remember what our families did on Sunday, which is to gather with family, with
That's
friends,
right.
to
That's
play
right.
games, to listen to music, to tell old-time stories, and, just a fun day for families on Sunday from 12 to 4. So there's lots to do. People are more than welcome to call our office at 772-0598 to find out more, to have a scheduled email to you. We're trying to get it up on our website, which is under construction, but we've got posters around the community. We're here all day today, just putting the finishing touches on everything. And in this, we've had so much support. The Department of Tourism has given financial support to come home to St. Croix. Department of Agriculture is here right now, setting up tents and picnic tables so that there's lots of space for people to gather. Families who want to have a picnic or a family meeting can just call and reserve a space. There's no fee for it. Just call the office and reserve a space. We've just had a lot of support. Government printing office helping us to do the program, and lots of volunteers. I mean, Mary Roebuck, Jerry Doward.
You got good people working
Carol
with you.
Wakefield, Ricky Marshall, Joan Keenan, Winnie Hardy, Marion Roebuck. I mean, so many people are lending their talent and their time and energy to this.
But Sona,
Don't forget Calypso Inc.
Calypso Inc. is going to perform. Thank you, Hugh. Calypso Inc., the King Derby, and his young banjo players that he's been training are performing on Sunday as part of the fun day. The drummers, Dembaya, I hope will be here, as well as the women drummers will be here during the week. I mean, and there's still room. If somebody wants to come and help teach a tradition, if somebody's inspired to just come during the week and play an instrument or just spend time here, whatever you want to do, whatever helps to make St. Croix feel like home for those who participate, you're more than welcome to do it. Just check in with our office so we know you're here. We can tell other people where you are. If you want to meditate, this is really a call to all, to Crucians living here, to Crucians living away, to other people who have found a home in St. Croix, even if they don't have connections here, whether you're from Trinidad, from Guyana, from any of the islands in the Caribbean, from the States, from Europe, wherever you come from, come home to St. Croix.
Let me be one of the first people to congratulate you, Sonia. I truly believe that this concept is great for us. Like you said, those of us who live here and those of us who are living away. It's a good idea of bringing back and in the concept of preserving our heritage and our traditions. And it's different. And guess what? For those of us who always complaining they ain't got nothing to do,
exactly,
my son, this is something to do.
All you have to do is come. All you have to do is call your family members and say, meet me at WIM.
That's right. I encourage everybody to even if you can't make it most of the time, go at least one day.
Yeah.
And share in the excitement and the tradition that we have here, the pride anyway in the tradition that we have.
And
this is great.
See that. Let our children see us using our time to honor our heritage and to appreciate it and to enjoy it.
And embracing it, yes,
exactly.
and sharing it.
Yeah. Because then that tells our children this is important. When they see us doing it, then they know how important this is to us. And there will be some children who will come reluctantly at first, but once
they will have a good time.
They do. Yeah. We're seeing it with our summer camp. We see our children when we bring Dr. Chen in and Carl Christopher to teach Bambula. And you see these kids after they're up there dancing with them, and then afterwards they're negotiating with the presenters to try to get them to come back for another session. So our children want to have a sense of belonging, and they want boundaries. They want to know the values. They want to know what we hold close and near to our heart. And this is an opportunity. What we're hoping that we can do is to facilitate reunions, that you don't have to plan the